Okay, I want you to raise your hand if you figured this out too. Trying to find a husband or a wife on a dating app is next to impossible. I think a good way to explain it would be you wake up in the middle of the night, you're groggy, you're out of it, you are looking for your all black cell phone in the pitch dark, and you're fiddling around with your hands, knocking things over. You try to get up, you're bumping into things, tripping over things. But now, let's imagine you could turn the light on. You wake up, you turn the light on, and then now you can see. Now your eyes have to adjust. But now, maybe it wasn't just right where you thought it would be, but you lift up your sheets or you lift up your pillow and you found it. See, it's much easier, isn't it? So what is it that we can do that's much easier than dating using dating apps? Well, you're asking the right questions and you ask the right person, because I have a whole episode where I'm going to explain that. Hey, welcome back to Relationships Ain't Easy. Today we're talking about dating in communities, not communal dating. I need to make that very clear. If this is the wrong podcast for that, I'm talking about dating in communities. This is probably a good time for me to explain, or at least define what I mean when I'm saying dating in communities. I have to make that clear. But dating in communities, and it's simply you're looking for your future husband or your future wife in the communities that you're a part of. It's really that simple. And I'm really trying to explain the benefits of dating in communities. We all know about apps. In my intro, I explain how hard and frustrating they can be when you're trying to find your actual future husband or future wife. So I got a better way, and that's the dating in communities. So first of all, let's say if you're single, right, you should already be looking for or have already joined communities, because if you listen to my podcast, then you know that's one of the things that's going to help you find your future husband or wife. Okay. I have a whole episode on that, and it's actually about all the things that you should be doing to find, to get yourself ready for your future spouse. So I'll link that in the description and you can watch that too. But anyway, so you should be in these communities anyway. And I keep saying communities because it's not just one community. You can have multiple ones, and I would recommend that. Okay. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So get multiple communities. And what do I mean when I say communities? So how do you know you're in a community to find them? I mean, a community can be anything, really. I mean, it could be your CrossFit group. It could be a book club. There's church small groups. There's painting small groups. Any kind of interests, hobbies, whatever. There's so many different things you can do that are communities. And again, in my other episode, I explained, the types to look for that are best for singles who are actually trying to meet people. But to keep this one brief, I'm going to keep moving, okay? So, you can be in multiple communities. I just said that. But let me tell you some of the benefits, okay? So some of the benefits are, and especially over using dating apps, and even a lot of these benefits I'm going to explain are even better than like if someone just puts you on a blind date, they try to set you up with somebody. Okay. So one of the first things is you can see how the person interacts with other people, right? One of the ways you can look for, red or green flags is to see how they treat other people, because we all know there's some people who, maybe they got a crush on you, or they want you to like them, so they treat you differently, but they don't treat the other people who they don't like. So if you're going to be in a community, you're not going to like everybody in the community, or at least you're not going to want to be, at least you're not going to want to be in a relationship with everybody in the community. Again, this is not communal dating. This is dating in communities. So when you're in a community, you can actually watch them do that before you even go on a date with them. Like you can actually just watch and see, are they a jerk to everybody else, or the way they treat you is the same way they treat everybody else, with respect. Okay, so that's one of the things. Another thing is, and this kind of goes hand in hand, you can learn about their character. And part of that is how they treat other people, but you can see, are they on time all the time? Or are they late? And, someone being late all the time may annoy you, so you may not want to have to deal with that. You can see different things like, do they take care of their things? Like what does their car look like? Is it just completely dirty, full of trash? Like, do you want to deal with that? And depending on which, community you're in, like if it's a book club or maybe even like a small group, you may visit different people's houses or place, where they're living. And you can see how you can get an idea of how they're living, the standard of living, how much money they make, they live in a safe neighborhood and a not so safe neighborhood. Is the house dirty? You can learn more about them. Again, you haven't even gone on a date yet. You're in the community, just learning about them. Another good thing is there's no commitment. You can start learning about people, and like in your mind, you can be like, okay, I think I'm into this person, so I'm gonna start paying more attention to them. But there's no commitment because you haven't said anything to them. You haven't even been on a date. There's no commitment. So then if you realize that you don't like this person, guess what? You can just go on to someone else. There's no commitment. Or you can even try to, you could be watching 2 or 3 people at once. Because again, there's no commitment. You're not doing anything. All you're doing is sitting back and watching them. And of course, you're getting to know them. You're talking to them. But you're doing it in that group setting in the community. So feelings are less likely to get hurt. And depending on how you approach it. Because if you do it the wrong way without wisdom, then yes, there could be feelings. But like I just said, there's no commitment. You're sitting back. You're getting to know the person. And you're getting to know them first as a friend, which is what I recommend. Watch my other episodes. But you're getting to know them as a friend first. And you're in a community where everybody's been a friend. So it's not... Just because you're talking to them doesn't mean necessarily that you're into them or you're trying to pursue something romantic, right? Obviously, if you go to talk to a girl or or if a guy comes up to talk to you girls, then, if they're strangers, you're normally kind of thinking, okay, I think this person is interested in me, right? So it's already kind of starting off romantic. So feelings can get attached a lot quicker, but you don't have to worry about that when you're dating in community because, everybody's friends, everybody's being friendly, and you're just getting to know everybody. So it's another benefit. Here's something, and this is especially for the women. It can be a lot safer. It can be a lot safer. Like I said, you sit back and watch them, you can avoid certain things. If you see they have an anger problem, you know, okay, now this guy didn't know how to control himself. I'm good. I had a friend tell me about their friend, and I'm not going to get into details just to protect them, but they were just explaining how one of their friends went out on a date, and they found themselves in a situation where they were very uncomfortable, we'll just say, and they wished they could redo that night again so they wouldn't have to be in that situation again. Because again, it was just her and this guy. If she had been dating in community, watching my podcast, she would have known A, I can sit back and watch them from afar, and then B, when you're in a community, you can kind of hang out with people in a group first to see if they're, good people. Or if you kind of want to go on a date, you can kind of break it down to a little smaller group first if you want to. Like, you could take things in steps and be safer. So I would just say it's also, it's just safer, especially for you women, okay? Some more benefits. you can actually ask other people about this person. So in the story I just told you, she could have asked other girls about this guy, what they think, and if that guy had been on other dates with these girls, they would have said, oh, he's a little weird. I got these weird vibes and I don't know. I don't think he's safe. Could have saved her. And it doesn't have to even be something like a safety thing. It could just be like, man, I don't know. Last time the group went over the house, we found out that they, I don't know, have a bunch of weird, creepy dolls in the house. I don't know. Something weird where it's just like, it may just be like a little pet peeve and you're like, oh, okay, that is weird. But you can ask people about the person, get to know them, get to see what they think about them. So now, a lot of times when you have a crush on someone, you tend to only see the good things about them. So when you ask other people, especially if they've been around this person longer than you, they can tell you the good and the bad and give you a more balanced view of that person. Again, you have more information, you can make smarter choices. You should be able to make smarter choices. You have the option to. It's up to you if you're going to do it or not. And here's one for the guys, okay? Guys, it is much easier to start a conversation for the first time with someone who is introduced to you compared to someone you just walk up to as a stranger. So a lot of times in these groups, in these communities, I don't know, maybe one of your friends is going to be talking to someone else and you're like, oh, okay, I'm kind of interested in her. You could just walk up to the two of them, right? Person A is your friend, person B you never met, but that's who you're interested in. You can just walk up, say hi to person A. Normally people will just introduce you because it's like, oh, this is he's my friend, person B is my friend. And now it's much easier to start talking. And you already like jump through a whole bunch of hurdles because you've been introduced, and you guys can talk. And then you could even talk with the friend. You can avoid a lot of awkward silence, and it's a lot easier to talk to someone who you're introduced to. Okay. And then last but not least is being in a community actually helps you find people. And it's weirdest because you tend to find like-minded people or people who are interested in the same things. So I'm going to use it. Let's say it's Sam beach volleyball. That's the community, one of the communities you chose. In this community playing beach volleyball, guess what? Most of them all like beach volleyball. And I'm guessing you do too because you joined the group. So when they invite people to come and join the group, they're going to like it too. So you already have at least one thing in common. So you have something you can talk about. You have something you do that you already know. And it just makes things easier. And like I said, it'll be easier for you to meet the person because you're in a community. There's just so many benefits of being, not only just being in a community, but dating in communities. It just makes things so much easier. So again, before I end this, let me define what communities are. I'm not talking about communal dating. I'm talking about dating in communities, which is just looking for your future husband or your wife in communities. You should already be in communities. And then there's all kind of benefits from seeing how they interact with people, it being easier to strike up a conversation with them for the first time. And then it's usually more fun because you know that they have some kind of general interest that you have too. So if this has helped, go ahead, hit the like button. If this is your first time or you haven't done it yet, you should subscribe. And if you know someone who needs help with this or who may be struggling with this, they're trying to find, their husband or wife. If you know someone else who's tired of using these dating apps, let me say it again. If you know somebody who's struggling with dating apps and they're trying to find a husband or wife, send them this link. Okay, help them out. Don't just leave them hanging. But I appreciate it. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, if you have questions about what I said, you can leave it in the comments below. If you have a topic that you want me to talk about, the best way to get me is relationships ain't easy. There's no apostrophe. That's an Instagram. You can just send me a DM. And if it's something good, I'll make an episode or even shout you out. So appreciate you for coming by, and I will see you.